Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. This is a bronze match game from the Legend of the Stars Qualifier number 1. That's right. It is getting to the end of the year again. That means yet another Legend of the Stars tournament is going to round out the year. Legend of the Stars, a avid ladder player, sponsor of the end of year tournament for many years now, and really we're just extremely lucky to have him as a sponsor and a player. That guy has a lot of ladder games. Last time I checked, he had, how many was it? He had definitely over 1,000. Maybe he had, no, actually he had a lot more than that. Anyway, huge shout out to him for continuing to support the community in a huge way. Also to the other sponsors. This year, I believe we're over $2,000. Last year, I think it was close to $2,000 total prize pool for the end of year tournament. Maybe it was 1,800 or so. Can't remember exactly, but this year I think we're already over 2,000. So thank you to Legend of the Stars, and also to the other sponsors. We'll make sure we shout everything out once we're closer to the event, but for now, let's actually slow this down a little bit, because that's 2 minutes of the game that I've just blasted past without even introducing the players. We have Swkoll down here playing as Cybern. So actually there's a lot of things to explain here. Swkoll is playing versus Espiranto. This is for 3rd place. The top 4 placings get you through to the end of your tournament proper. There's 4 qualifiers. 4 players qualify from each event, and the end of your tournament will have 16 players, group stage followed by playoffs, similar to the tournaments that Swkoll hosted, the Summer Invitational and Fall Invitational, where you had a group stage and a playoff stage 1 week later. So again, huge shout out to Swkoll for hosting those tournaments, keeping us going throughout the year, and giving me lots of content to cast and cover, and you to watch. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell is Swkoll Cybern and Espiranto UEF? Well, in this tournament it was decided that, well, that mirror matchups were something of a problem that is too common to see mirror matchups in tournaments, and FTX came up with a solution that is giving players factional vetoes. So guess what? These players vetoed each other's main factions. Swkoll always plays UEF. Espiranto virtually always plays Cybern. So they, did each other dirty, if I could talk. And Swkoll, his backup faction is apparently Cybern. Espiranto's is apparently UEF. You can see them talking about that. How the turntables. So yes, here we are in 2020 Clown World, where players are playing each other's factions. Everything is upside down. It is nice to just look at tanks and scouts, isn't it? Every once in a while, but for now, let's get back to the actual game. This is they're fighting for 3rd place. If you want to watch other coverage of this tournament on YouTube, you need to go to the description and click some of the links there. We got Indrani. This is going to be a nice raid if he manages to get the kill. He's hiding behind the mechs. Then we'll over the rest of what's happening. That's a great kill. No engineer close to here to help out. So yes, Andrani is covering it. I think Guile will be casting something, as though Guile would need a shout out. And well, Willow's Duality is another person who will be casting. I'm subscribed to all these people anyway, so you can see them on my homepage most likely if you go into the subscription feed there. And there's also Kenosis, I think, will be casting, but he might be casting the following qualifier. Poor old FTX was not aware of all the myriad casters that have appeared in the game recently. Unfortunately, it looks like Nartek has stopped casting. I haven't seen one of his casts recently, so that's a bit sad. But he still has, you know, like 60 or 70 casts out there to watch, so I think he may come back at some point. Bomber, wow. He just pinged the Mantis just instantly. I wonder, was that just a single bomb? And he just killed it? Because that's pretty impressive. Now, let's look at the openings. I guess we should, you know, cast the game now that we're 5 minutes in and we're just talking about ancillary things. Bomber only gets a kill on a Mantis. Swkoll already edge building a factory up here. That's quite quick. On the other side, Espiranto. Oh, I'm getting confused now because of the factions. And the colors as well, to be fair. Espiranto with blue. With like the ladder blue as UEF definitely makes me feel like it's Swkoll, but no, it's not. So Swkoll is Cybern. He has not sent an engineer. I didn't see the engineer get killed. I don't see any wreck here, so he just didn't send an engineer across here. So he's relying on air to get him there. Espiranto already has a factory here. Already has an engineer. He's going to take this island. And that's quite good for him. Now, he did get slowed down in this expansion, as we saw. But overall, Swkoll with the better start. There's no doubt he has a nice balance of eco, although he's going to mass stall most likely on this. He's grabbing reclaim like this here very quickly. A bit slow maybe on this. Overall, though, doing well. Doing quite well. Maybe not that many tanks though. Let's see, 16 tanks. He's probably upgrading mexes, is he? Yeah, there's a mex upgrade. Nice. Espiranto not looking so hot. Not feeling like he belongs in this faction. Bit of a mass stall. It sort of corrected it now. No mex upgrades. Any T2 land. Look at that. He's actually getting T2 land very quickly on this map. Feeling, well, maybe he is feeling comfortable in this skin here, because that is a real UEF maneuver there. Just what do I do as UEF? Let's just get to T2 land. I mean, screw this T1 land stuff. The Cybern player can play on T1 land if he wants. I'm getting T2 land as fast as I can, so I can get my wonderful combo of pillars, mongoose, shields, and a big ass gun on my commander. Let's go. Is he manually reclaiming all of this? Well, he's missing a bit, but yeah, he is actually manually reclaiming quite a lot here. Espiranto looks to be defending well on the top side. Swkoll trying to get past here. And really important that he defends, because this is the point where he's vulnerable. I mean, this point on the map and this point in time. Because, you know, he's just moved to T2 land very quickly. The T2 units aren't out yet, so this is where he would be weak. Now, maybe if Swkoll did invest in a T2 mech, he would have been able to break through here, get past, maybe even run over an army. And perhaps Snowball if he gets through this expansion into the back. I mean, that could be devastating. But he went for some economy, and maybe that hurt him. Maybe that eliminated that option for him. So he does not get through. Espiranto defends. Espiranto now has to... Well, he's switched to T2 line quite quickly in terms of having multiple support factories, making loads of Lobos, not making any strikers, and he's actually really vulnerable on the left side now. Again, although Swkoll has retreated, so I guess these mongoose can run straight over and will be able to defend without too much trouble. If Swkoll was to actually move forward, we got a P-gen up here. And Espiranto is going to need to maybe make a little bit more economy because Swkoll has taken the lead in that. That's a half-finished energy storage for some reason, probably by mistake. T2 land is up for Swkoll, and he's making Mantis out of that HQ, which is a terrible mistake. Don't think I need to tell people that you shouldn't make Mantis out of a T2 land HQ. That should be self-explanatory. I won't insult you with such advice. A couple of more mechs is actually upgrading at the back. Espiranto with the old GG. Not sure what that's about. Looks like there's a drop here. By... Oh, look at this proxy. So Swkoll dropped on the top, as far as I can tell, and has taken the top island, and now he wants island number 2. And he's making more drops. Swkoll actually had the gun, and this is why Espiranto... Wait, I don't know why... Did Espiranto really think he was dying here? Kind of strange. But Espiranto has the gun, Swkoll has the gun. Thing is though, Swkoll's army looks about as impressive as... I don't know, something that isn't impressive at all. My muscles or subscriber count. Oh. Get wrecked, Striker. So looks like an attempted attack up here fails and leaves quite a lot of mass actually now that I look at it. There's quite a lot of dead T1 units on Espiranto's side of the map here. And Espiranto's army looks quite impressive. Let's take a look. What's really impressive about it is, you know, 6,500 mass worth of units here. What's really impressive though is that they're almost all T2 units. And then some Lobos, well actually quite a few Lobos. But it's mostly T2 units. Swkoll's army is minuscule and outdated. He has 2 T2 units versus like 25 T2 units. So that's quite easily understood, the differences there. A lot of anti-air being built in these factories. So there's already a lot of units on this island. Swkoll should not make any more. This is going to turn into a big waste of mass if he keeps building things here. He's not getting a lot of reclaim. He is just getting the mexes, and they're going to take time to actually pay off the cost of taking the island. That is all these units and factories, PD, radar, transport, all these things. So he needs to focus on the middle. He's making a T2PD here. This is why shields are great. Because your poor mongoose are gonna die to a tickle laser. Get wrecked. Well, this PD has basically already done as much damage as it costs, so that's quite nice. 480, 476, beautiful. Espiranto is making an upgrade. Looks like it's T2. I'm not sure why he would make T2. I think making T2 with this commander like this is kind of lame. I would much rather see Nano and just bring a couple Sparkies, 1 or 2 Sparkies. The cost will come out to pretty much the same, but it's going to be way more powerful than having T2 in your commander, because you don't want to stand there building things with your massive gun and 10,000 HP unit. So Sparkies and Nano, much superior and fun, way more fun than T2 gun on your commander, you know, just gun Nano. So a bit disappointing. It also slows you down a lot. I mean, he could have just been moving forward with the gun. T2 is not going to add a lot to his arsenal. And what's here? What's in front of him? 3 rhinos. That's 1 overcharge, 2 at most. At T2 Cybern PD. Very scary object of that needs to be destroyed, clearly. That's a nice drop. Is that a T2 mech? It's 1 T2 mech. Would the second one go down? Seems pretty unlikely. There's only 1 Medusa and 2 Mantis. That's not exactly a whole lot of DPS. Yeah, it survives 500 HP. Couple bombers come past, finish that off. Could be pretty nice. There goes an overcharge. The Mongoose chipping in quite nicely. Another overcharge goes in. But, I mean, yeah, what does Swkoll have? How does Swkoll stop this with 5 rhinos? He does have gun and stealth in his commander. I don't know why his commander is up the top side here. Seems pretty dangerously out of position. And okay, we do have another PD here. This PD is firing and it's dead. Never mind. Quite a big T2 army for Espiranto. It seems like he should push and push and push and push. Because what's really in front of him? I mean, this Cybern army is pathetic. Look at all this juicy mass extractors to kill. What does Espiranto know? He has radar, but so he can see that there's nothing here. You can see there's a 1 PD. Maybe this is a second PD. Although he would probably see it firing, so he should guess that there's a single PD. You can see the bullets. Or the tracers of the laser. There's T1 PD here. There's a 1 rhino, maybe 2 rhinos. Not exactly too formidable an army. Nice catch on the transport. But it looks like Espiranto has stopped on the front line, and guess what he's doing? He's making PDs. I mean, why make PDs here where you can't kill anything instead of trying to run into the expansion? I mean, okay, this is definitely PD construction. Has to be. And they're actually retreating away. Some pillars go down, a mongoose goes down. And he's building PDs that can't really kill anything. They can only hold a forward position, where he's denying like 2 mexes, which is not that great, not that huge a deal. I wouldn't be scared. I would be pretty glad if my opponent stopped here with an army far superior to mine and then start building PDs. Look, he has 11 rhinos in total. I don't know why Swkoll has so few units. What's that? 4K. 10K. This thing up here is pretty handy. Now he's actually moving forward. Looks like he wants to run through. He's waited so long that he actually allowed multiple PDs to go up. This one, and they're all in quite good position. And also, I like that he's trying to defend the T2 PDs with T1 PDs in front of them. That's a very good thing to do. T1 PDs just have a much better DPS per mass, so they can provide quite a lot of support. Moves forward, gets forced back. Swkoll using his commander quite well, although extremely dangerously. I mean, yeah, it's like he's trying to bait Espiranto in. Does the music seem very quiet to you? I mean, it just got way louder there for no reason. So now I have to turn it down again. Slight bug there, I guess. And yeah, Swkoll's trying to steal the mass while he can. He's going to tank a lot of damage from these two PDs. Actually, okay, here's the thing. He has stealth, so right, you can't see him, so you can't. Your units won't shoot at him. There's a very simple solution, right? When he shows up on the radar or in vision, thanks to an air scout, then you just target him with the PDs, and then once he goes out of vision, the PDs will use their attack order and they will not lose it until he goes out of range of them. So, oh my god, Swkoll, what are you doing? He's moving forward into these PDs. Espiranto needs only to target him, but he didn't. He didn't, and now Swkoll's still in range of all these PDs, at least, yeah, all of them. And Swkoll gets away with losing barely any HP. He should be extremely low on HP right now. TML is up, and looks like he's already killed two T2 Mexas here. Both of these. Tries to send one to the back, but the TMD is up to defend. Also, a transport dropped forward a demolisher to the forward base. And both players are at T3 land. Swkoll actually goes for a brick first. Now, I guess this brick... Well, I wonder why he goes for a brick first and not a trebuchet. I wonder... What just... Oh, that was the demolisher bombing things. So they both have... Well... Okay. Looks like we have a Rhino raid in the top expansion for Swkoll. I did another Rhino raid here. That's gonna be a bit of a mass donation, actually. More demolishers walking forward. A lot of demolishers, actually. Swkoll once again playing with fire, and he has no units at all to back him up, and he wants to fight PDs and an entire T2 army. His units are off to the left. Doesn't even have the brick with him to help out. He should not be allowed to abuse stealth like this. I mean, stealth is good and all, right? It is not this abusable. And how is he? Surely he just dies here. Like, he's not even running away. Oh my god, that overcharge was disgusting though. Now actually Swkoll moving in, making use of the brick. Another demolisher goes down. The brick has some stealth with it. There's actually a decent number of rhinos at this point. The PDs will surely go down to the MMLs as well. Quite a few of those. And Espiranto is totally out of position with his ACU. This ACU should be here. In which case, none of this works. As the brick will just get overcharged immediately. The base should survive. I don't know how Swkoll managed to just kill this base. There should have been no possibility of killing this base, honestly. It's actually amazing that that happened. I'm kind of... Well, that's very interesting. I mean, Espiranto could just if it... I mean, why is his ACU here? His ACU is obviously the linchpin that holds the whole base together. But he's out of position, and therefore the base goes down versus a single brick. So it's basically a single brick, some Medusa, some MML, some Rhinos, and one ACU. Insane. Now the Trebs are out. They're going to completely nullify the T2 army. The Demolishers, I don't know what they're trying to attack. They're very far back, and they also have no shields or anything. Looks like the Rhino got killed over here and did actually manage to raid this whole expansion. Well, not the whole expansion, but got a few mech skills up there. And at this point, that was huge for Swkoll to actually kill this base. Get rid of it. Get rid of the shields, the PDs, the TML. I don't know how he did it, but he did. And now we move into a more standard Twin Rivers, where it looks like, you know, Espiranto's going to retreat. He's sending a lot of Perseus to the top side. 4 Perseus up there now. 5, in fact. 6th one coming out. Actually, 6th one with inside a transport. And Swkoll upgrading mexes on both of his islands. He has 6 between the 2 of the islands. He has 6 T2 mexes there. Meanwhile, Espiranto has a T3 mex. And he's making a second one. So it's an eco game now, boys. T3 mex halfway completed in the back base. And competing T1 transports. Look at this. They cross paths. Hi, says Espiranto. Swkoll has not realized why he's saying that. This brick is not making it, that's for sure. Percy reaches the back of the base. How far can he get though? Is there T2 air? T2 air is a huge option at this point. Helps you deal with drops like this way easier. Oh, that's a juicy amount of reclaim down there. But quite far from anyone. Looks like a really, really dangerous battle that Swkoll does not want to get himself into. This is very risky. So many Perseus here. We've got 5 Perseus, we only got 4 bricks. They're very spread out. This formation is far better than this mess over here. I don't know why Swkoll is pushing here. Doesn't seem like he could possibly make progress. Looks like a bit of a random air fight. Swkoll has way more NTs here. And actually, yeah, he just crushed there. However, that Percy is here and there's been no reaction. 0 reaction to the Percy. On the other hand, the Percy is now just targeting engineers that are in range, which is a massive error. And thanks to that, probably hearing and seeing the explosions of his engineers is what tipped Swkoll off to the Percy. And now he's probably going to be making bombers, I hope. Maybe drop a brick or 2. He's sending a brick to the back. He doesn't really have any air production. He has 1 air factory. He is making bombers though. And he's making labs to fight the... That's it. I love that. He's making labs to fight the Percy. The Percy finally will decide to attack mass extractors. Runs now into range of a PD. This T3 mex has to go down. I mean, if it doesn't, it's going to be the saddest waste of a Percy's potential in history. There, I said it. In all history. Maybe a factory to try and block a shot? No. Come on, Swkoll. Learn the tricks of the trade. T3 mex goes down. 3 T2 mexes go down. The Percy will die a hero. Honored for generations. And that is insane damage for Espiranto to get. Meanwhile, he's got 3... He's heading for his 4th T3 mex now in the back base. All of them in the back base. No defenses in the back base whatsoever. Imagine, like, you know, 1 stealth drop of a brick or 2 bricks, or, you know, here we have a lot of anti-air to defend, although you could probably sneak past this with a T2 transport. Definitely if it had stealth, it would sneak past. You can see the vision is limited and there's no inties here to defend. And on the top side there's what, 6 inties. That's not gonna instantly kill a T2 transport or anything. You could definitely drop 2 bricks here. Could definitely drop Medusa. I mean, you only need some Medusa to kill this one. So there's huge damage to be done by drops here. A Sam T3 Pigeon is up for Swkoll. He's making T3 mechs very slowly here. He's making T2 air. I like it. Finally, should have been done quite a while ago. This looks... Well, it's mainly Lobos, actually. The Percy's haven't gotten into range yet. And the bricks are not firing anymore. Hello? Hey. Hey, you have one job. That's to shoot the enemy. Please. Please fire. What in the name of God was that? Why does he have 3 bricks retreating and they're not firing when they're in range of about 50 different units? On the top side, another hasty retreat from Swkoll. Why is he in such a position? I don't know, but Espiranto has way more Percies. This could be huge. He's just gonna kill most of the bricks here and take all the reclaim for himself. Oh my god. Not only bricks, but some rhinos die as well. They do get overkilled, so not too much reclaim left, but jeez. How does Swkoll come back here? It seems very, very bad for him. T1 Mex is being upgraded at the back again. A little slow. That's a T3 Mex, and this is... Whoa, whoa, and he's making a mega... Swkoll, my friend. Please. Finish your T3 Mex upgrades. It has to be done. Don't start new ones. Finish the old and then make your Megalith. 8 bricks. Espiranto must have 20 Percies. Okay, 17. Any on transports? Nope. Well, now Espiranto is in the situation where he has a really big advantage in... Well, I mean, his mass income is quite large at this point. He's never really attempted to take back map control in terms of the islands, but make some, you know, he needs to use his huge army advantage now, because he's allowing time for, you know. Oh my god. Swkoll, one thing at a time. One at a time. Don't start making another one. Now he's assisting this one. And this one is still only 85%. Oh, minus 100 mass. And also a lot of T1 mechs is upgrading without assistance, which means, you know, they're going to upgrade slowly as well. I nearly expected to see another T3 mechs upgrading there. I actually have to check all of them just to make sure. That one's not upgrading. Whoa, so many units. And look at this, 2 bricks dropped to the back. No, don't drop there. There's only T1 mechs there. Ah, Swkoll. Look at this juicy T3 mechs here. Now he's heading towards all these T2 mechs. Killing his Sam and T3 engineer is good, but there's more. Wow, that's a lot of inties. No flak on this island though, so they will take some damage from the T1 anti-air and then leave. I think we should see... Oh, look at that. Okay, well then it's actually reasonable for Espiranto not to be using his army like this right now, because he's gonna make use of the fatty. I mean, he could do some drops and things as well. Oh, T1 drops coming in. Will they drop outside range of the T1 anti-air? No, they're gonna fly directly into it, actually. I kind of blame the transport though. I don't think he actually queued to drop here. He queued to drop here. It ran further in. He actually... Hang on. Where'd this brick go? Oh, this brick actually died to... What exactly? Oh, the ACU actually was here. And got the kill. And this actually turned into a mass donation. And another T3 engineer was immediately dropped to build the SAM. Interesting. All T2 mechs survived. This brick does not survive and doesn't actually kill anything either except some random T1 engineers. So that drop was an utter failure in the end. More T3 mexes at the back. 2 upgrading at once again. 3 upgrading. This one upgrading with no assistance and no storage. And the Fat Boy's done. This looks quite bad now for Swkoll. Oh my god. I mean, what is... let me see. Okay, no. For a second I thought it was like he actually had over 500 massive gun, but no, he has 332 to 262 for Swkoll. So the eco not looking too close. The reclaim Espiranto 29,000. Swkoll behind in that regard. So many units. How many units do you need on this island? Don't repeat build on an island like this. Don't do it. It's just a waste. Making units to defend. I mean, making this many artillery to defend might be okay. Maybe anti-air would be better. Maybe a T3 engineer, just build a SAM and a SAM. 1 SAM, maybe 2 SAMs are necessary, maybe not. T2 artillery is going up to defend against... There is actually this T2 artillery is around for a while already, but there have been additional investments made in this base as the Fat Boy arrives. Now the Fat Boy, of course, one of its main counters is T2 artillery. It's massacring the bricks right now. And the shielding is limited. There needs to be more shields, higher upgraded shields, and this commander can't really contribute much of anything as he doesn't have T2 or T3 is really what would have been great to have right now. He still has just the gun and stealth. There's not much build power. He's making T2PEs now and not upgrading the shields, so I feel like he can't defend this unless the Megalith is finished ASAP and run straight over here. That's the only hope to actually defend against this attack. The first shield drops. The T2 artillery is not going to last long. Second shield drops. The shield gen itself now drops. T2 artillery dying. They're an extremely expensive unit. And there's so many shields here. So many mobile shields protecting Espiranto. Espiranto with a WTF. He has 5 SAMs. How did this drop land? Well, he kind of built all the SAMs into one place, so maybe he flew in here. I don't see stealth actually, so it is kind of interesting that he landed. Oh, please kill this one. 1 T2 Mex goes down and all of his storages. The forward base, which had the very important T2 artillery, is dead. There's 1 T2 artillery left. That is an abomination of shield gens. That's the technical term for a group of shield like this. An abomination of shields. And the Fat Boy is... Well, he still doesn't have his shield actually. It's still regenning. And that makes it a little bit dangerous to be heading close to this Megalith. Now begins to retreat. I don't know why there's demolishers here, but there's T1 artillery coming for them. T3 Mex loses his storage. Actually, another T2 Mex goes down. And Espiranto decides to just straight build T3 Mexes from the ground up. This T3 Mex finished. It was probably upgraded by accident as there are no storages here, or it was just simply forgotten about. And Megalith number 2 is under construction. How far along is Fat Boy number 2? Only just begun. But on the other hand, there is a nuke launcher. Fat Boy doing very well versus the Megalith, unsurprisingly. He managed to stay out of range. He has a lot of support with shields, especially, as we noted already. And how many Percy's? Really not that many Percy's, actually. Has the Percy production stopped? In fact, it has. That's why we have a total abomination of shields. It's because there's... I mean, that's all he's building from all of his T3 factories, which is really outrageous. 111 shields. Why am I power stalling? I wonder. Why did the SAMs not shoot down the units? Perhaps they couldn't see because there's no radar, because you have 100 shields. That might be the answer. And now we've switched to Lobos out of T3 factories. Let's see how efficient this is. So we build it in about 1.5 seconds, and then it walks away for at least as long as that. No, it definitely takes longer to leave the factory than it does to construct. So I rate this very low efficiency. Probably a bad idea. T1 bombers heading for the expansion, and they're gonna massacre a lot of T2 mexes here. Probably all of them. He could actually just bomb all the anti-air first, and he's even gonna kill Reclaim with the napalm. That's a bit much. One T2 mex down and all of its storages. Two T2 mexes down and all of its storages. And 3 T2 mexes down. Brick's pushing on the top side with Stout. This is like his whole brick army. They're getting pinged by the demolishers from a long way away. They're heading towards T3 mexes though. A lot of T3 mexes. That's gonna be juicy. And yeah, this whole island is dying to T1 bombers. They're finally going down, but they have a lot of damage done. Second Megalith finishes. He desperately needs both these Megalith. He needs to stay away with the first Megalith. He needs to stay away until he gets the second Megalith in a position to help him out. Bombers trying to deal with the huge T3 incursion on the top side. And the demolishers also doing amazing work, gotta be said. Look at this damage. The inties land and provide an excellent target, an excellent distraction for the bricks, so they're not killing, you know, T3 mexes. Nothing sent to the top where there's T3 mexes. Those need to be killed. It's a huge opportunity. The Megalith is now getting surrounded by artillery, taking a lot of damage from the fatboy. The Percys are getting close, very close. The Lobos will just get walked over if they attempt to. I mean, you can't block a unit like this. Second Megalith arrives. The fatboy is just in range of the Mega at this point. One Mega goes down. The second Mega is at full HP still. And there's just so many shields to get through though. No, he's mismicroing. He's turning around. He's not shooting anymore. The bricks at the front. The artillery going to go down as well. The Mega... No. Turn around. That's a lot of wasted damage there. These bricks head towards the T3 mexes. They're shooting this one and they're standing next to the others, so the bombers will actually do some friendly fire. This entire base goes down, but now all the bricks have died except for those at the top. Fatboy's still alive. It's actually still has almost the entirety of its shield up. And this Megalith now in range of the Percys and the Lobos, and it simply cannot get through the shields. There's just too many of them. Artillery running in. This T3 mech survives on 700 HP. This island has not been replaced. It's going to be replaced soon. Is that? Okay. And there's also another fatboy in the base from from Espiranto. This Megalith is going to die if it continues to try and chase the fatboy. The fatboy will kill it from out of range. Looks like it's an attempted, you know, dodging back and forth a little bit by Swkoll. Problem with dodging as you push forward is that you won't actually catch up because you're moving back and forth. The T3 HQ is getting sniped by T1 bombers, and a nuke has been launched at Swkoll's base and face. There goes the T3 HQ to T1 bombers at minute 40. And Swkoll control K is just before the nuke lands. He almost timed it. He waited a bit too long. Maybe if he had timed it a bit better, we could have seen just, you know, he could have denied the nuke, but there it goes. Espiranto wins. Swkoll goes down, and that means that Swkoll takes 4th place. He does qualify to the end of year tournament in December. Espiranto takes 3rd. He also goes through. That's a lot of Sams. And at some point this became very comfortable for Espiranto. Swkoll, I think some of the most critical mistakes were with his economy, his eco upgrading. The T3 mexes were just all over the place in terms of he was upgrading some and not assisting, or I mean, look, these are on storage T3 mexes. This kind of stuff is losing games for Swkoll here for sure. And then also the really slow reaction to a single Percy came through here, killed the 3 T2 mexes and the first T3 mex that Swkoll made. So that was just brutal damage from a T1 drop. T1 transport dropping a Percy. Can't afford to allow damage like that. So well played, Espiranto and Swkoll. Check out the other casters covering this tournament. I think they will have made release those casts by the time this one is up. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more tournament coverage. Mainly that's what we're going to be doing. Don't think we'll be covering too much ladder, but we shall see, and hopefully I can get back to streaming sooner rather than later. Goodbye guys, have a good one.